The Batman, a mysterious and adventurous figure fighting for the righteousness and disappearing the wrongdoer in his lone battle against the evil forces of society. His identity remains unknown. The home of Commissioner Gordon, who at the moment is containing his young social life friend, Bruce Wayne. Well, Commissioner, anything exciting happening these days? No, except this fellow they call the Batman. Puzzles me. Yes, hello? What's that? Lambert's Cannibals King stabbed to death? His son's fingerprints are on the knife? I'll be right over. Talk about something exciting. Old Lambert has been murdered at his mansion. I'm going there right now. Let the cat come along. Oh, well, nothing to do. I might so as well. The Commissioner, Bruce Wayne, speaks towards the Lambert residence. Hello, Sergeant. Anything under control? Yes, sir. We got a young lantern in the back room. After a full investigation of the scene of the crime, the room becomes busy with a usual police routine. I'm finished in here. Let me talk to the young Lambert. Hello, Lambert. They say you killed your father. I didn't do it, Commissioner. You gotta believe me. I didn't do it. Calm down, my boy. Tell me all about it. Well, so tonight I came home and I was passing the library and I heard a moan. I rushed in and there was my father lying on the floor with a knife in him. And I rushed in. I got the impressions of something leaping out of the window, and also I noticed my father's safe was open. I pulled the knife out of my father's body and turned him towards me just in time for him to say, "Contact, contact." Oh. And then he died. That's how I got my fingerprints on the knife, and that's the truth, Commissioner. And your dad had many enemies or people who had an interest in his business activities? Not that I know, except his three former business partners. Let's see, that they were Stephen Crane, Paul Rogers, and Alfred Stalker. Commissioner, there's a young man named Steve Crane who wants to speak to old Lambert. When I told him that old Lambert was murdered, he got very excited and wanted to speak to you. Yes, this is Commissioner Gordon. What's the trouble? Yesterday, Mr. Lambert called and told he survived an enormous threat on his life. Today, I received the same. That's why I called up, and I'm afraid that I'll be next. What shall I do? Wait. And do you not let anyone in? Well, we'll be over soon, and as soon as we can. What's that, Bruce? Oh, well, let me leave you here to finish your work. I'm going home. Meanwhile, Stephen Crane sits in his library with feeling of tempered danger when suddenly there's a sickling shock. Crane is slants in his chair, dead. The murderer rushes to the safe and secures a paper. Did you get the paper? Yeah. As two men slid over the crest, they got notice a third menacing figure standing behind them. It is the Batman. The Batman! The Batman flushes with a terrific right. He grabs his second leg in a deadly headlock as with a deadly cleave. Sends burly criminals flying through space. The Batman swiftly picks up the paper and the murder stolen from Stephen Crane's safe. Meanwhile, the Commissioner draws up his car. It's the Batman. It's the Gam. Mr. Crane, Mr. Crane has been murdered? Sir, it's terrible. It's two, that's two dead parties out of the four that has seen threatening notes. Thus the other two must be Crave, must have received them too. Let's go, Rogers. Next. The Batman reads the paper as he stretches through the killers and the grim smile across his lips. He speeds his car through an unknown destination. Meanwhile, Rogers, who has learned from Allegra's death by the news broadcast, has already gone to the neighborhood laboratory of his analyst-wise partner, Alfred Stalker. Hello, Jenkins. I must see Stalker quickly. Would you come in? Suck! Jenkins Stalker assisted carrying Rogers to the basement as his laboratory. one more out of the way. Soon I'll control everything. This is the gas chamber I used to kill guinea pigs to experiment with. But now you are my guinea pig. When the glasses lid covers, you tightly guess I will come through just the lid and kill you. You fiend! Jenkins pulls a breaker with the stars of the glass down the waters and attain doom. I'm going down to turn the gas on. Sleep well. And that's the moment the Batman leaps through the open transform. The Batman hence the winch from the table and leaps from the gas chamber. The Batman quickly glanced the glass with a handkerchief as the glass chamber defends entirely over them. Then he enters Rogers as with a powerful full swing. Jenkins returns as he's started by the Batman. He wishes for his gun. What the? The Batman greets Jenkins for a flying tackle. Meanwhile, Alfred Stalker has learned the crash of the gas chamber as he enters the laboratory. Rogers, what happened? Your assistant, Jenkins. He tried to kill me. However, Stalker has no notice that the Batman who seen him in the shadows. So he didn't get you after all. I'll finish you and I'll throw your body in the acid tank below. You hold my hand? What's the idea? Why did you try to kill me? This rat was behind the murders. You see, I learned that you, Lambert, Crane, and Stalker were once partners in an elaborate cannibal operation. Stalker, who was to be the store owner, but having no ready cash, made some contacts with you to pay the remaining sum of money each year. Until he owned the business and he figured out by killing you and stealing the contacts, he wouldn't have to pay this money. A very clever scheme of being the contacts were a worst secret between the four of us. Our heirs or the outside world wouldn't know a thing about them. But how will you know all of this? I received the contacts from one of his hired killers. Suddenly, the Stalker clears Stalker with the strength of the madman, tear himself free from the grips of the Batman. Poor! He's falling right into the acid tank. A fitting ending for his kind. How can I ever thank you? What? Gone. The next day, young Bruce Wayne is again a visitor at the commissioner's house, who has just finished telling Bruce the latest exploits of the Batman. And then the Waters said the Batman were through the skylight. A very lonely fairy tale commissioner indeed. After Bruce Wayne has gone. Bruce Wayne is a very nice young chap. He certainly must lead a boring life. Seems disinterested in everything. Bruce Wayne turns home to his room. A little later, his door slowly opens and reveals his operations. If the commissioner could see his young friend now, he realized to learn that he is the Batman. Watch for new thrilling Batman stories next month.